Okay, Millie, it is such a pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you today. First of all, how are you doing and how has this year been for you, especially coming from a kid? I wanted to know because it's got to be so hard on you, or had to have been.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a really difficult year with COVID and everything, like not being able to see friends. I mean, friends are definitely a huge part of like the teenage life.
Yeah.
So not being
Yeah.
able to see them every day was definitely difficult, but we did what we had to do, and hopefully things will get better soon as long as everyone continues to follow the rules.
Yeah, no, I'm wondering with yourself, like, are you homeschooled or do you actually go to school? How does it work with you?
Yeah, so I actually go to a private school.
Great.
Uh, I've been in and out of school this year from filming and other things as well. But yeah, I go into school, which is great. We were online for a bit, and then we went back in, and then
Yeah.
we're online again. But
Yeah.
changes every month.
Well, it's good that you have a good attitude, and I think we're getting there now. I can see the light. I can kind of see the light. So it's going to happen. You're going to be able to be back with all your friends soon. But let's talk about first of all, congratulations on all your success. Because I got to tell you, you've been doing this since you were a little girl. You're an old pro by now, of course, doing the Odd Squad. And I remember seeing you obviously in an Orphan Black, which was one of my absolutely favorite shows. I mean, I can't even imagine you working with Tatiana on that level. Like, it must have been amazing.
Yeah, she's an amazing person to work with.
Like, what do you learn from her, especially when she's playing all these different characters?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, she is such an amazing actress, and to sort of see her and her process while being on set with her, like, that was amazing. Like, definitely a highlight of my career to be able to work with her.
Yeah, I know we'll get on to the other things in a minute, but I'm so curious because I always ask everybody when they work with somebody like Tatiana Maslany, especially on Orphan Black, because she plays so many different characters. When I'm watching the show, I'm thinking, this has got to be 8 or 10 different actresses. What's it like for you as an actor watching her? Like, if she comes as, Allison or whoever, do you think that she's really that person? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, her process was super cool. For the most part, every the character she was playing for those specific scenes, she would try and stay in it with like the accent and the sort of the way the character speaks between takes as well, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Filming with her, but sometimes I'd forget that, like, oh, I'm filming with this character today and not this character. It would definitely be confusing, but it was so cool to see how she worked through that.
Yeah, fantastic show. Really, really. And you did a great job in that too. So first off, I mean, congratulations on the success. Not many people, especially your age, get the opportunity not to just shoot one show, but 2 shows at the same time. Now, of course, with Amelia Parker, you're in it all the time. But tell me a little bit about, first off, set it up for us. Tell us a little bit about the Parker Andersons and then Amelia Parker.
Yeah, so the Parker Andersons follows the family as a whole. So Tony, after he moved with his 2 kids, Amelia and Nathan, from England to America, where he marries Cleo, who also has 2 kids. And it's sort of about how the family comes together and learns that their differences are what is going to make them a family and sort of set them up for success as a happy new family together. And Amelia Parker follows Amelia, who has been selectively mute since her mother passed away a few years previous. And it's sort of following her as she opens up in confessionals about her anxieties and her hopes as she makes like sort of a video diary to her mom. And we sort of see her life at school and at home from her point of view. And so what would be like a major plot line in Amelia Parker might be like a minor plot line in the Parker Andersons, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's so cool because, like I said, not a lot of people get this opportunity to kind of do 2 things at once. What was your initial reaction when they came to you and they said, we're going to give you your own show?
Like, confused. I think I was talking to the cast members actually when we were on set a little while ago about this too, of how all of us were so confused until the read through, like the very first read through. And then after we were like, oh, like now I understand. But yeah, definitely from the start, I was like so confused. I was like, how is this 2 different things? But once we actually started filming and all that, it definitely became clear. But I think people will definitely understand once they start watching the show, of how they coincide with each other and what the two of them are about.
Yeah. And for you as an actor, is that you were saying, I mean, obviously from the beginning you were confused until you kind of read it and then you figured it out. But how do you get into that mode, like where you're in one show and then the other and then keeping them so that they flow, it's an interesting process.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was difficult for the most part. I mean, a lot of the scenes, like we would shoot from two different perspectives. So some like from Amelia's perspective, where some of the lines from one scene would be cut out of Amelia Parker.
Yeah.
And so it was super complicated to sort of remember. I'd be like, wait, is this in Parker Anderson's or Amelia Parker? Like what show are we doing right now? Because we would film them like both at the same time. Like some of them would be from Amelia Parker and some would be from Parker Anderson. So definitely the process was really difficult, but also fun at the same time because of all the people I got to work with.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, for sure. And I think too that what I like about both these shows is I think that they're very relatable. I think that, whether it's a blended family, whether it's unfortunately maybe a parent that has passed away or a close relative or whatever, I think Amelia for sure is extremely relatable. Did you feel like you related a little bit to her or know anybody like her?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that that's one thing that I love about the show so much is how relatable it is for anyone watching, whether it's kids or teenagers or adults and or families as a whole as well. Like, I think that Amelia's story is super relatable for a lot of people, like fitting in at school, fitting in with your friends, trying to make new ones, and also like navigating throughout family life as well. I think it'll be relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah. What excited you most about being able to tackle her?
Definitely like how deep and evolved her character was.
Yeah.
I mean, some days I'd be laughing in every scene, and then some days I'd just be like full on tears in all the scenes. And I think it was super cool how evolved of a character she is, and not just like what you would think of a typical teenage girl in a show or movie.
Yeah, it's really fun. I think a really great opportunity for you, but I think that like we were saying, a lot of people will really, really enjoy it. I had the opportunity to talk to Anthony the other day. Tell me a little bit about working with him. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, from the get-go, he was an amazing person to work with. Like the set environment with him there as a showrunner was amazing. Like everyone was so involved and excited to be there, and I think that most of that is due to Anthony and the environment he created for us on set.
Yeah, it seemed like it would be a really familial kind of set to me, like not just a blended family that you're playing a role, but I think to me, just watching what I've seen so far, you all just hit it off. How was that? What was that like? Like, working with everybody and being this kind of on-screen family, but yet it felt real to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's super difficult with that kind of stuff because there were so many of us too. But I think that we really came together as a family, and we all sat down and were like, we have to make this work. So we really like did a bunch of bonding stuff and got to know each other like from the beginning. And whether it was with the family or me, Jada, and Chris, who played Vikram and Declan as well, how we had to be like best friends. I mean, we felt that energy from the get-go anyways, that it wasn't hard to act it because that's how we were in real life.
That's really cool. I want to ask you too, like we were saying earlier, that you have been doing this since a young girl and you have a lot of fans out there. How important it is for you to, you're a role model to a lot of kids out there. What's that been like for you? And using your fame, your celebrity kind of as a platform to speak about things that are important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm super fortunate to have the platform that I do and to be able to use it to speak about important things that go on in the world. And I think that's actually what I love about the Parker Andersons and Amelia Parker too, is how those important conversations happen in the show and not, and especially in this day and age, and how people can watch the show and be like, this is how, like, I relate to this.
Yeah.
This is what my life is like too, and sort of sparking conversation with their families as well. But I think with my platform, I found it super important to speak about the things that are going on and also things that I care about as well, because I know that a lot of people will listen if it comes from me and if it comes from other celebrities who speak up about it.
Yeah. What kind of reaction have you had from fans, that like maybe something that really sticks out for you?
Definitely just like the positive feedback already, that like the teaser came out on BYU.
Yeah.
Um, and already I've had people like reaching out to me from the US, like fans and stuff, being like, I just watched it and I can't wait to watch the rest. Like, it looks amazing. I can't wait for April 19th when the show comes out. And yeah, I'm just super excited for the show to come out and see how the show impacts other people's lives as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, before we go, I want to ask you about working with our buddy Jacob Tremblay. Of course, you've worked with him in a couple of films. Well, what's it like to work with that guy? He's so sweet. And he's such a, I've interviewed him. So I interviewed him since he was like this high, you know, and
Yeah.
just see you guys grow, especially as a Canadian, to me makes me so proud for you guys. What was it like working with him? And especially in Good Boys. Oh my God, that movie was insane. You had your first on-screen kiss in that film, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah. It was definitely a time, always on Good Boys, but working with Jacob was amazing. I mean, it was so great to see a familiar face, especially working with him in 2 different films, to sort of see how we grew as actors and as people as well, to sort of see the difference between what we were like filming Wonder and Good Boys 3 years later. I mean, I was super fortunate to work with him multiple times because he is an amazing actor.
Yeah, I loved Wonder. What a beautiful movie. That really, I think, made a huge impact on kids, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, great, well, you were really, really good. So before we wrap it up, for young kids who want to become, you know, actors or be in TV, well, what's your best piece of advice?
Dedication, never giving up. And I know that a lot of people say this, but it is so true. Like, things do not come easy for anybody in the acting world. It may seem like that, but you have to work so hard to keep the balance in your life. Like, if you want to act, as well as school and other hobbies you might have, as well as keeping friendships. I mean, like, that's been the hardest things, because while filming, like, I couldn't go to birthday parties. I couldn't, you know, like, see my friends as much because I was so busy. So being able to keep friendships, and I had to give a lot of things up for the opportunities that I had. And I think that dedication and hard work was definitely something that really stuck with me, because there are so many no's in the acting industry.
Yes.
So you get through like 100 no's for that one yes. That could change your life.
Yeah, well, you are just doing great. It's so wonderful to see you in everything that you do. Best of luck with the Parker Andersons, and of course with Amelia Parker. I cannot wait to see what people, you know, say about it. And I can't wait to share this interview, but it's just been an absolute delight getting the opportunity to talk to you today, Millie, and just best of luck to you and your family and everything. Okay, take care and have a good afternoon. Okay.
Bye, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.